The potato man. What's up, buddy? I don't. To answer y'all's questions a minute ago, I didn't. Mr. Bigley. Okay. I'm in my voice channel right now. There's nobody in there. I'm just in there by myself. More optimized placement would have been to put this guy all the way about like right here. If I plan on keeping him above. Yeah, sorry about that, Lucas. I don't know what happened. I don't know why my stream stopped. Just randomly stopped. Alright, impossible. Here we go. What Paragon do y'all want to see me get? I'll get a Paragon before 80. Let's see. Play.
Let's make some ribbons.
Alright, here we go. Get that monkey egg Paragon. Let's see. Have to cover early in this one. Need a cover for lead first.
Sharp as it gets.
And I want to go. Guess we're gonna keep our super monkey or our little fella right there. Oh, it isn't possible. I can tell. I wanted him right here. Also, that should be good for round 38. Maybe a little bit more. I'll get that guy. Let me get another farm going here. Another farm going first. I think get another farm going. Then have to get kept up a little bit. Got 2 farms going. Probably gonna end up placing 4. Oh. We're gonna play with fire. Goliath Dune ship.
Extra sharp. Get ready. Clean it. And still cuts a tomato.
Oh, good.
I'm as sharp as it gets.
Sure. I can try, boss. I mean, if it just take forever. Can we do it today at midnight? What? When is midnight? I should have got the more expensive. Midnight for me is in 1 hour. It's 11 p.m. for me. My next hard round.
Get ready. Clean it. And still cuts a tomato.
Dang it, I didn't want to do that. Don't want to get MIB yet. I need to upgrade these. I want to leave myself with $0.
Get ready.
I don't leave myself with $0 like right now. I want to click this right now.
Clean cuts. And still cuts
The
a
bus
tomato.
event is in 3 hours. Will you still do it?
Clean cuts. And still cuts a tomato.
Yeah, I want to buy it right now.
아싸! 지렸다리.
Which Paragon you want me to do? I gotta cover my bases first. Yeah, which Paragon? Dudowski? Dudowski? What Paragon do you want to go for?
Still cuts a tomato.
Yes, it does work while you're in co-op. It only gives it to you though. So if I have double cash and you have regular cash, you would just do it to get your regular cash. It wouldn't split it. If you were supposed to get $400, I'd be getting $800. What Paragon did y'all want to go with? Oh, that is OP. Nerf. What Paragon am I getting? boat,
Get ready. Go
the
it.
Buccaneer.
Clean cuts. And still cuts of tomato. Big, red, and spicy.
Dang it. I'm not gonna get it by round 100.
Attack as one.
I've wasted too much money at the beginning. Dang it. Let's see if how much rounds earlier I needed it. How many more rounds I needed to get the Paragon. 100. What do you think? Oh man. $106. I bet I can beat it. I wasted quite a bit of money early whenever I was in my early farming. Level 3. I didn't put any money into it. Yeah, that one would take too long. It's gonna be playing that one for a while. Yeah, beat that one. Beat round 100 in deflation mode. Also, you can transfer. Yes, you can. Yeah, because I play on my iPad and on the PC, and every time I switch from one to the other, I always have to choose the newest saved update, the one on the right. Always choose the one on the right if you made a lot of progress. If not, it'll delete it. Ask me how I know that one. Yeah, that's what I did. My PC and my iPad are the exact same account. And you know what's crappy is I bought it on PC and on iPad, which I didn't need to. Yeah, I think so. The OG version. The original. Let's see, now we gotta do chimps. You wanna see chimps? Alright, no, I don't wanna continue. I wanna be chimps now. Damn it. What? Yeah. What are we playing? Are we doing chimps? Yes. Yes. I like doing chimps. This is my favorite.
This is me, pop star.
Yeah, I have BTT6 on Steam. Let's fight. Oh, and on Bloons Battle 2 or whatever you call it. I've been waiting to do chimps all day on this one. We're gonna do chimps, and then I'll battle you. You think I can beat this in chimps? Let me show you how easy this is to beat this in chimps. I like playing it on my PC better. My son likes playing it on the iPad better. My son is 8, so I like playing it on both. It's fun. I just like sitting back in the chair though, and I stream, so I use my PC to stream. Why is it going so slow? $14 for the PC version, or I think I paid $12.99 plus tax, so right around there. It's a fun game. I like it. My son got me into it. My son has an obsession with balloons. Of course, he likes blowing them up, but since he saw the game, he just loved it. It's really close to another game called Lemmings. Lemmings is kind of the same way, except Lemmings are just like kind of like drones that walk in that go in a certain path, and you have the power to change what they do. Like one can dig, one can climb, one can have a parachute, and you have to guide them from the beginning of the maze to the end of the maze. It's fun. It's a very strategic game. Oh, that's sweet. I didn't know that they even had it on Epic. Well, not that I want to buy it for a third time, but... Where's my druid at? There's my druid. Good luck. What's cabin chimps? Should go to the Discord and stream your screen in the Discord channel. Copy you. I'm pretty sure you can transfer it. I'm pretty sure you can link the account, and all your progress will be transferred. Ooh, that was close. Whoa. Alright, Mr. Druid, you ain't doing your job. I need $2,000 for Kim. Oh, you know what? Do that and get the LinkedIn code and you might be able to get it for free. Because if you have it for Netflix on Netflix free, it might transfer over so that you can play it on your PC for free. I don't know. Somebody just joined the Discord channel. You should have some respect. They're big league.
I'm already made.
You got a rubber band on you.
Oh shit. I took some time until making this.
Big league, you're loud, bro.
I did pop so anyway. Station is make sure it's no longer in use.
What?
Get ready. Bowen.
Who's Mr. Bigley? Oh, that's fine. Dang it. I put my druid in the wrong spot. Dang it, that's gonna hurt me.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
That was stupid. It would have been way more efficient for me to put this village right here. And then put the sniper and put the village right here and put the sniper right behind it. Sniper would still have had full round all over the map. Dang it, I didn't want to do that. Alright. Well, you said it was at midnight. It's only 11:30.
Big, red, and spicy. Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
When are you going to do boss? To do the boss shot. Do you get a lot of money if you win the boss challenge?
Looking sharp.
What am I waiting on?
Get ready.
Before I go, what hero should I get? I have 5,000. If you don't have Sada, I would definitely get Sada. I've been saving up for Sai, and I only had Quincy. I only have Quincy, and I only have Sada. Sada is a really good teacher, and she can cover up to around 38 with a little bit of practice.
Big, red, and spicy.
Or around 38, just her by herself with a 100 sniper. Yeah, Sada's awesome. She was the only hero that I actually wanted. I read up a bunch of them. But on them and what their advantages and disadvantages were. Salda's a really good workhorse, man. She's fast. Oh, nice. I can't remember what I got. Well, I got a pretty high, but it wasn't me doing it. It was other people that co-op. Oh, you're still doing it? Yeah, those upper rounds, man, they're so slow. Should I? And they're getting close to coming through. $4,000 more. Dang, 337. That's a high. Woo. Come on. Need 1,000 more. Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted. You have 2. I'm gonna get chimps my first try. Oh, I got level 129. 1 knowledge point. I'm in public right now. I'm about to get Goliath Doom ship. What level you're on right now? The levels go so slow. What? Still cut a tomato. The ZOMG. Throw a little spiky spike at him. See what it do. Yeah. I can imagine. $43,000. what?
Cling
Start
and still
your
cuts a tomato.
air.
Get big, red, and spicy. Cling cuts and still cuts a
Can you
tomato.
start your what? What? Dodosky, what are you trying to say, bro? Your typos are throwing me off. Oh. Good. There's 44 balloons games? Holy crap, I've only played one. I didn't realize this was such a big game. I'm already 96, and they don't stand a chance right now. What's this? Maybe 10 more thousand. I want to see how these perma spikes. I want to see how good they are. $97, $98. Ooh, $98, $99. Come on. I wish I could sell something right now. I just want to see how we can get up the game. Come on. 32,000. Oh, that sucks. Champ's first try. Too easy. Maybe, I don't know. I paid for both of mine, so I've had iPad and which one? I never used the Netflix one. Look, see, look, now I gotta do all the stupid easy ones. For another black or no, excuse me, I'm not gonna do it. I'll give those to my son now. Play boss. Are we doing a boss? Do we want to do a boss? Or do I just go do another? Oh look, I'm missing one of this one. Am I missing half cash? I'm missing half cash. Half cash, I think sometimes it's harder than
Let's
chance.
make some ribbons.
But with regular cash on it, it's fine.
I'm as sharp as it gets.
What's the frog for? The frog is crying. The froggy frog is crying. What's up, Zoro? Yee. I mean, yo. Zoro 916. I mean, if you like playing, I play it on my phone and on my PC. If you like playing on your PC, or if you have Discord on your PC, it makes it a lot easier to talk with your people that you're playing with. If you spend a lot of time playing it and you want to talk with other people while you're playing it. Sad frog. Sad frog. It's such a sad frog. Don't squish the sad frog. Round 12. What do we want to do? How do we want to beat this? What are we doing right now? We're gonna try this. Alright. Boom. We're gonna put him right there because we're gonna put a druid right there. I'm gonna put a village right there. What's my highest round? Hey, Lucas, can you look at what my highest round is? I asked you if you wanted me to do it. I'm gonna get it on PC because it shouldn't take that long to get to my level. You have to get to, if you want to do co-op, you have to get to level 20. And if you mod your game with it, don't play it on co-op or it will flag your count. Level 89, you could probably do that in a week. I don't know, if you just pick one level and black border, one level black border it, I'd say probably by the time you black border two full maps, you should be getting close to there. My highest round is 264. Okay, thank you. And it wasn't my doing. I didn't do it. I was playing a co-op and everybody else left out. But they had already put paragons and stuff down. And actually, I could have gone higher than that, but I was just bored. So I quit. I'm gonna kill this level with just, let's just say 4 farms. But with just 4 farms, I'm going to do a crate drop. Just because I want to get the farming moving. And that wasn't that much. On balance? Yeah, you should. Soda's awesome. I like soda.
Extra sharp.
Alex Sebastian Casa. What are you wowing about? You never seen this level done so well? The placement of my towers are perfect. Pixel perfect. Not really, I just slapped them up there. Nice. Streaming in my Discord channel? I see. You went to the lobby. I switched channels with you, Mr. Bigley. He's in the Discord, Lucas. He's streaming in the Discord. Correct. I mean, he may be doing it on YouTube also. I don't know. Sure.
I'm as sharp as it gets.
Yeah, I will. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, very bright of me. What am I playing again? Oh man, half cash. I just ruined it. I shouldn't have bought this one to begin with. Look at that, man. How much money I lost. Yeah, but it would only carry me to one more round. Because 38, she can pop the majority of the Bloons, but there's 3 of them that she can't pop. I guess I still could have survived. Got 100 lives. That's all right. Oh well. Why is it going so slow?
That tickles.
Dang it. I didn't need to do that. Dang, I should start this over. I think I'm gonna lose this one.
Get ready. Blow him.
Whew. What?
Looking sharp.
Lucas, what are you talking about?
Get ready! Moab! Extra sharp!
Did you manually type that? I thought AI were taking over.
Get ready! Moab! Get ready!
Ancient language of gibberish. That's exactly how I knew it was AI. It was testing me to see if I knew AI.
Clean cut and still cuts a tomato. Outside! Get ready! Clean cut and still cuts a tomato. Good choice. Big red and clean cut and still cuts a tomato. Get ready! Moab! Clean cut and still cuts a tomato.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Clean cut and still cuts a tomato.
Like a real AI. An actual AI.
Clean cut and still cuts a tomato.
Yes, Lucas, you're an AI genius.
Clean cut and still
Training
cuts
yourself
a
in the
tomato.
game theory. Messing with humans' emotions. I'm gonna soon take over the world.
Outside! Get ready!
There's a lot of talk about that in the news right now, by the way. The news.
Get ready! Moab!
Why do you say that?
Clean
Bloons
cut
is a very
still
strategic
cuts
game.
a tomato.
That you like to
Clean
play it.
cut and still cuts a tomato.
Speaks around for your intelligence. I think I said that wrong. Pop monkey. Monkey thing. I think if you put a comma in there, it'd be more believable.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato. And sharp as death. Big, red, and spicy. Get ready, Moab. Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
Are we gonna do a boss event? Lucas. You have to go to school tomorrow.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato. Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato. Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato. Get ready! Big, red, and spicy! Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
Okay. Code. That's game.
Clean cuts and still cuts a tomato.
THRBA. Hi, May. Hi, May. Hi, May. Look. Why is my... If we're about to do a co-op, as we speak, it will be the elite because we are the goats. TUHRBA. TUHRBA. You're gonna do elite? Really? May, are you joining? TUHRBA. Badowski. May. Adadowski. Let's go. It's okay. You'll get up there. I remember when I was level 88 last week. I was level 88 like last week. May, did you join? May, you're not joined. Uh-oh. Who left? What is a C? The code is TUHRBA. Okay. Okay. Okay, game plan. Lucas. Game plan. I need to do the farming. But we need 4 tax sprayers in that top right corner square and a village right above it. Oh no, it's split. Damn it. Okay, I'll cover it from the get-go. I need that money back though. I need money for farms. Have your money. It makes a big difference right now. Can I have your money? Actually, you know what? No, you. I don't know. Can you? How many village? How many can I get right here? Can I get 2 right here? Can you give cash drops on this? Okay. I'll use 3. I need farms. Oh, the banana farms don't fail me now. E5 has 44 million health. What? What does that mean? That's a perfect spot for that sniper. Because this needs a village. Need a village right to the left of it. And it needs a tax sprayer right touching Sada.
Cool.
You need a village right to the left of your sniper whenever you have enough money for it. We don't need it just yet. But your sniper needs to be you need to buy top half on sniper right now. Wait, you're going middle path on the sniper? No, no. 205. Oh, Dartling Gunner. Wait, we don't need a Dartling Gunner right now. We need a 205 sniper. But I'll do right now with the 101 sniper with the village next to it as a 020 village. 101 sniper. 102. Now we need a village right next to the sniper. Next. Perfect. And then
Looking sharp.
yeah. I know, I just put it all back in it. Like 10,000 more. I'm about to go get some. Wait, I did all those 4 drops just to upgrade 1 banana farm. That was so stupid. Why did I do that? That was expensive. No drops, okay. I didn't buy any. It only gave us 1 banana farm. Okay. Okay, you can stop spamming it.
Looking sharp.
I will. I will give it to you soon. I will. Turn your auto start off. Turn your auto start off. Lucas, turn your auto start off. Lucas, you need a 030 village. Lucas, turn your auto start off. Okay. Beautiful. Village needs to go to 030. And then a sniper. No, why did you upgrade the top hat? Oh my goodness. The sniper. Upgrade the elite defender on the sniper. Lucas, elite defender on the sniper. Lucas. We need a the tack sprayer right next to Soda. The tack shooter right next to Soda. With the 402. Tack sprayer.
Hey.
If you can get 2 of them there. Never mind. No. No. Damn it. Whatever. Alright. Still don't have Elite Defender. Sorry. Okay. After those 2 PRFs to see. Okay. Two rounds. You only needed a put another druid up there at the top, right beside your cannon. Get mad. I'm not in the correct position to put the mad. You are up at the top right corner. You need to put a mad right up there by your put a mad down. We got it. Look at you have all the money. Look at how many pops the mad already has. 158,000. That's crazy. Yep. Yep. With all the money, I need $100,000. I need to get Banana Central. Why are you doing that? 20 minutes later, I'm back. I'm back. Carry on for 3. And get 2 more boats. 1 more boat. You know, we need $550,000. Put Buccaneers. You put Buccaneers up in the water up there and get bottom pass so they make money. Don't even worry about the Paragon right now. Just put Buccaneers in the water to make money. Bottom path Buccaneers. I'm not gonna start it on the last round until you tell me. What are you buying right now? We don't, I think we're covered. Just save your money right now. I mean, I would just buy Buccaneers and put them in the water. We're covered on defense. Alright. Okay, fine. What do you want to do? What? We're only on the first circle. It's not even made one way around yet. Sell everything. Why don't you put a Ray of Doom over there also? Put a Ray of Doom right in the middle of your map. You have all the room. Or give it back. I'll put a. Never mind. I'll put it. We're earning good money right now. Use your abilities. Where is it? Can't even see it. Wait, it's about to, or it's dead. Why? We need to save up all the way till this next boss so you can get a really strong barrel. This one is done. What? Lucas. Where are you at? What did you... Y'all told me the boat. I would have got the boomerang paragon. Why did you go? Rejoin. I didn't remove you. Huh? I'm hee. I'm hee. What's up, Star Garlic? Lucas, are you coming back? Two rounds. Lucas, are you coming back? Lucas. Damn it. Always forget about my abilities. Melting balloons off the wall. You left me in here, Lucas. You said, I want to do a boss event. And you just left. Now I gotta finish it. And I'm not only at boss, the third boss. I gotta go to 4 bosses, right? This is the level 120. Okay, I'm about to get me another parry. Keep on forgetting about my abilities. Boss is good. Here, 10 rounds. Cool. Well, plenty of money by then. might even be able to get 2 Paragon. With my excellent farming strategy. Right? Oh. Guess I can take it off auto. I mean, put auto on. So this guy ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, that ain't doing crap. Oh, you know what? I can get me a 8th lane. That ain't gonna do nothing. Oop. Very explained. Oh. One, 2, 3. So I can tell I never used my helicopter. I didn't even get to apply money to it. Dang it. 48 million pops. I would have 2 mads and 2 laser beams of death or whatever if you wouldn't have sold them. You think we got it? Hard for me to find it. What are the blue stars? Oh, that sucks. Didn't beat it. Well, shoot. Oh. Shimmer. Well, I guess nobody else is. Is there anybody else here? Didowski? Lucas? May? Y'all all gone?
Let's make some ribbons.
Oh.
I'm as sharp as I get. Extra sharp.
I'll do primary first.
This is me, pop star.
Oh, Robokin, do you want to join? Sorry. I didn't know you were there. I don't think I need anything past this. We do a little clean up. I'll get the ring of fire. All of the beasts. What? What do you want? What? Onion. What? You wanna go outside? Wanna go outside? It's raining outside. You're gonna get all wet. You ain't gonna like it. Robokin, you could have joined. I didn't know you wanted to, or I would have gave you a chance. deflation. Okay, I need to get around 100 on this one. What are my goals? Round 100. I can beat deflation, but I want to try to, think. Let me see. Like, let's try deflation. I don't know. We're gonna do it on this one. No, it's on easy mode. Easy deflation. Okay, we are going to put a boomerang. Gonna go bang bang. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. And I'm gonna do a sniper. Ooh, that's cool. Let's see if deflation, see if this will beat round. No abilities, but I have 2 extra snipers, and this did get me to 97 before, I think. Ooh, I should have put glue on it. Okay, shouldn't even got on the screen yet, but have any even made it over to this guy yet? 490. So I've seen him go to 97 by himself without even 2 snipers. I think we're gonna have fun. Yo, I think that Sada's abilities carried me. Dang, yeah, she's a one of the snipers. That Sada. Her abilities grow through the round and she be really strong. What do y'all think? Not that anybody is listening. I can't do anything unless I might as well just go get me a bowl of ice cream. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna give me a cup. Quoi? What do y'all think it's gonna do? I'm pretty sure it's gonna beat the DBTs. What do you think, Lucas? Those balloons don't have a chance. I should have put the glue monkey up in the top right corner. That was stupid. Yeah, top right corner, then all the balloons would have passed him 3 times. We're gonna pass him once, twice, I guess 3 times. Yeah. And on one of the pads, they touch him on each side. Honey, you're such a good girl. Do one more time. Do one more time. Bye.
Those fortified DDTs that are gonna get me. I think we're gonna get it. I think we're gonna get it. Pretty close. Really super close. Look at that. DDT is gone. Hit 95 has more DDTs. Last time I didn't have 2 seconds though. Or a glue gun. That's not shooting anything. Ooh, buddy, that was close. That was super close. Seven. D8. This is a hard one. This is the hard one. Oh, that was nothing. D8. 99. What? No. What if I needed to? Huh. Huh.
years will be a period of radical disorder. Money printing, rising inflation, a potential banking crisis, a whole lot of debt threaten to shock the global markets. And many people, including today's guest, believe that something approximating World War III has already begun. But even if that's all true, we can't control it. Whatever hand we're dealt, we have to figure out a way to play it well. So I bring you Arthur Hayes, the controversial macro investor who's going to provide a masterclass on navigating these difficult times. What are the signs that you see on the horizon that a financial crisis might be headed our way?
I absolutely agree that there's going to be a major financial crisis, probably as bad or worse than the Great Depression sometime near the end of the decade. Before we get there, we're going to have, I think, the largest bull market in stocks, real estate, crypto, art, you name it, that we've ever seen since World War II. And the reason I believe that is if we back up to like 1945, essentially Europe blew itself up, China was destroyed by a civil war, and Japan, Russia essentially fought the war for everybody else, and massive destruction. So if you look across the world, the only country that was left was the US. And they had a manufacturing base that was unharmed from the war, and they essentially rebuilt the war and reaped enormous benefits. And we're still, people who are American are still living off of those benefits today. But at the end of the day, everybody's sort of believing this thing called, Keynesian economics, which basically is if something gets in trouble, the government should rush in, spend money. If they don't have the money, the central bank should print it. And, everybody collectively in the world, no matter if you're, what sort of ism you believe in, subscribe to this theory. And what that means is, we all have collectively agreed that the government is there essentially to attempt to remove the business cycle. Like there should never be bad things that happen to the economy. And if there are, we want the government to come in and essentially destroy the free market. So every time we've had a financial crisis over the last, 80 years, what happens? The government rushes in and they essentially destroy some part of the free market because they want to, save the system. And what does that mean? It's like whack-a-mole. So every time there's a disturbance, the central banks, like the Federal Reserve in the US, they come in, they print money, they enact a bunch of regulations, and they basically say, okay, we don't want this sector to fail. We don't want, the creative destruction that is so-called, capitalism, if you actually believe in that. We don't want that. And every, 5-7 years, there's another sector of the economy that's essentially price fixed. And so we've gotten to this point where, globally, central banks have basically destroyed the free pricing mechanism in just about every single sector of the financial economy, except for one, which is the government bond markets, because they're so large, so unruly that it's practically impossible to essentially remove the market forces from this part of the market. But the problem is right now we're going to try. We've gone from 100% debt to GDP globally to about 360% as per the World Bank. And we are accelerating the amount of debt that we're adding onto the pile. Why? Because in the rich world, including China, Russia, and Brazil, we've stopped having enough kids. So the population is actually declining. So if you have all this debt and you don't have more humans being born to essentially do stuff to pay it back, the only way to ensure the system is solvent is for the governments and the central banks to start printing money. And now we've gotten to the situation where we have all this debt that needs to be rolled over. We have a population that has been told that, hey, you're good. Anything ever happens, we, the government, are going to come in and we're going to make sure that, you have enough food to eat, you got health care, we're going to protect you, blah, 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 right? And all that's expensive, especially as you have less humans who are doing productive stuff. And so we're just going to keep adding on debt because that's the only way the government can stay in business. And now we've gotten to the situation where there's so much debt and it's accelerating in an exponential fashion, that in order to save the market this time, right? So in the next 3 to 6 months, there's going to be some sort of major market disturbance, probably in the U.S. Treasury or other large global bond markets. And the solution is going to be, let's print the most money that we've ever printed to try to save essentially this fiat financial system that we created since World War II, which is going to, in the first instance, create a massive bull market in anything, like stocks, crypto, real estate, things that have a fixed supply. Maybe they're productive, they have some earnings. And then after that, we're going to find out actually the government can't save everything. They can't just print as much money as they think to try to save themselves and fix the price of the yield of their bonds. And we're going to get a generational collapse. And hopefully that doesn't coincide with a major global conflict. Usually it does. I hope it doesn't, because I don't really want to live through World War III while I'm alive. But that's sort of my overarching macro cycle thesis. So, massive top 2026 timeframe, and then some sort of Great Depression like situation happening towards the end of the decade. If we want to take a look at the progress of human civilization in the past 150, 200 years, it's all predicated on hydrocarbons. The moment we started extracting oil commercially out of the ground and turning it into thousands of different products that we all use every day that basically powers our modern life, development supercharged, right? We went from, I don't know how many billions of people in the 1970s to today, population more than doubled, right? And that's all because we were able to harness this particular type of potential energy of the earth that's underneath us. Okay, and we've piled on all this debt, we've brought forward all this future growth, and we haven't really innovated on another form of energy that makes us that much more productive. Maybe if the world started adopting nuclear today, immediately, like small nuclear reactors in our cars, our apartments powered by nuclear energy, maybe we'd have a chance at growing our way out of this debt. Or, if there's some magical alien that comes down and gives us, some basic resource that allows us to tap a new source of energy and we can commercialize it instantaneously, yes, then we could pay back all this money. Or if the population doubled overnight, right, to 16 billion people, then okay, great. We've built all this stuff. There's more people that need to use it. Okay, we can pay back this debt. But barring any of these, I like to say it takes 18 years to make an 18-year-old. So it's pretty much impossible to create humans out of thin air, no matter what any politician tells you. And, we're not really, what we seem to be doing is, in certain countries, is saying, hydrocarbons are worthless. We want to use these other forms of energy that are less dense, less productive, and somehow think that we're going to grow our way out of this debt, which is mathematically impossible. There's just no other way, if the government wants to save itself by it, than printing money. And printing money isn't growth. It's just a piece of paper out of thin air. And once the population thinks, hey, there's more and more of these pieces of paper floating around, there's only so many real goods. There's only so much oil. There's only so much electricity. Well, I guess I should be consuming everything I can now. That's not actually generating real growth. If we could just print our money and generate real growth, then Rome would have survived. Zimbabwe would be the richest country in the world. Same with Argentina. We've had, the Weimar Republic in Germany. If this was the answer, there's plenty of other, societies that have tried this, and the result was always the same: massive inflation, and then social unrest and collapse of the government. So I think we've proven over thousands of years of human history that printing money is not growth. It's a chimera, and at the party it lasts for only so long, and then it's bad news bears.
This is the thing that really freaks me out about what Ray Dalio is talking about, is the predictability of this cycle. And what I want to do, you're really good at explaining this. I want to go through the different things that build up to this moment, this inevitable moment. And then one of the things I want to make sure we talk about later is getting the timing right on this is next to impossible. And so that's going to loom in the background. But first, I just want to go through the things. Now, you said that you hope that this doesn't all happen in a moment of political instability, but I would like to quote Arthur Hayes here real fast. This is the opening line from one of your recent articles. You said, World War III has already begun, whether the mainstream media and political elite wish to acknowledge it or not. So let's talk about the political instability. We're going to get to the debt. We're going to get to the banking crisis and inflation, all of that. But set the context for us right now. What's happening right now that unnerves you from a political standpoint?
So for whatever reason, and I don't know why, Western Europe starting and then America following has it in for Russia. And if you read I think it's Mackinder, his global home island theory that he wrote, I want to say in the early 20th or end of the 19th century, whatever. He was a very famous war strategist, and he basically said that the home island is essentially Eurasia, right? So think of China, Russia, Western Europe, right? Whoever controls that portion of the world controls the world. And so if you think about the naval powers such as Great Britain and the US, let's talk about Great Britain first, right? What was the British foreign policy all about in the 19th century and early 20th century? Preventing a strong continent. Whether it was France or Germany, they didn't care. They just don't want a unified Europe. Now, as Russia industrialized in the late 19th century, they started to worry about, okay, well, what about Russia, right? We can't have an alliance of strong Germany after Bismarck, United Germany, and Russia, because Russia has all these commodities. That would be the worst thing that could ever happen for us, Great Britain and naval power. So what do? There's a series of alliances that precipitated World War I, which was, let's make sure that Germany and Russia are not friends. And essentially, that was a strategy going into World War I. Obviously that blew up. What was the strategy in World War II? If you take a look at the rise of Hitler and all the different Western powers that were okay with Hitler as long as he was going to turn his army and just fight Russia, right? Hitler wrote about this. He said, we want to create the space for the German people to essentially eradicate the Slavs in Russia and go in there. And the Western Europe was perfectly happy about that because, again, what do they want? They don't want a united home island. They don't want a united Eurasia because that threatens the hegemon, Great Britain at the time. Obviously, that didn't work out so well. Hitler turned his army on the other half of Europe, and then everybody started fighting again. And then we ended that war. And then what we were left with the United States versus Russia again. And again, it was all about, let's make sure that Russia and China aren't aligned, or Russia and the rest of Russian Europe aren't aligned. That's why the U.S. poured however many billions of dollars through the Marshall Plan into rebuilding Western Europe to make sure it was a bulwark against Russia and the virus of communism. And I forgot. I was reading a recent book. It's called The Wars of Asia, 1911 to 1949. And the author made a very good point about why communism is so hated as a form of government to anything that's not communism. And the reason it is because, obviously communism has its flaws, but the kernel of truth for lots of people is we're going to completely uproot the social system. We're going to replace the classes that are oppressing us. It's not like, okay, it's one class of elites who was running things, we're going to go over to this other class of elites, which is like socialism, fascism, capitalism. It's just one group of elites versus the other. Communism is, let's destroy the whole class of elites and bring the people up to power. Now, obviously, that never ever actually happens, but in the beginning it does. And so if you're a bourgeois intellectual and in one of these other systems, you're like, I can't have communism take over. I can't have the actual workers rise up, replace me as an entire class, and then try to rule, which is why they hate communism so much. And so the Russian system and what they're trying to export in terms of ideology is so hated in the liberal democratic or pseudo-fascist West. In any case, the U.S. is now locked heads with Russia to make sure that a divided Eurasia, because a strong Eurasia will control the world because it controls most of the natural resources of the world and most of the population. And that's been the U.S. foreign policy since the end of World War II. Fast forward to the 90s when the Soviet Union collapses, the U.S. response was not, let's do another Marshall Plan and rebuild Russia. It was, let's incentivize a bunch of former gangsters, now called oligarchs, to come in and take all the natural resources, impoverish their people, and move their wealth to London and New York, right? And so that was the policy. Now, out of that came, essentially Putin, who was all about let's build a strong, revisionist, the Russian ideal. Believe it or not, whether you think that's good or bad, but that's his appeal to the Russian people is, hey, you guys suffered through the end of the Soviet Union. The West was not your friend. They stole your shit. I'm here to rebuild the Russian for the Russian people. Believe it, that's his message to his constituents. You can like it or not like it. And so now we're at the situation where Russia invades Ukraine, and the West is pumping in resources to essentially fight them using the blood and tears of the Ukrainian people. It's not Americans fighting. It's not European, NATO Europeans fighting yet, right? So it's a proxy war between Russia and the West. Obviously, Russia is tacitly supported by China, and the rest of the world is like, well, we don't want to part of this. We're trying to be non-aligned. We don't want to get involved in this thing. So we have this sort of the setup of all over again of what was happening in the late 19th century of the West aligning to create a divided Eurasia. And so, we can call it a conflict or a skirmish or whatever, but you have, I don't know how many billions of dollars have been authorized by U.S. Congress to essentially ship weapons into Ukraine. You have NATO shipping in weapons, different countries providing intelligence so that the Ukrainian forces can attempt to stymie the Russian advance. Now, while, there's not boots on the ground from the West and Russia, to our knowledge, maybe there are, I don't know, it's basically a war. And so you could make the argument that World War III has already started. It's just not this hot, super kinetic, I'm going to throw my nukes at you kind of thing that we had in the last World War.
Now, why do you think this matters? Is this going to play out in energy prices? Is it going to play out as a debt problem? Why does this become part of the backdrop of the context that will lead to this coming financial crisis?
So at the end of the day, right, human civilization is the transformation of the potential energy of the sun and the earth into useful economic work, right? So cheap energy prices equals prosperity. Russia is the largest commodity exporter in the world. They have oil, they have natural gas, they've got metals, they've got food, right? The Ukrainian breadbasket was one of the largest wheat exporters in the world. Sunflower seeds, oils, all this stuff is in this region. And now the West has decided that we're no longer going to trade with Russia on paper. Now, if you actually look at the details, India, China, some of these other countries are basically just buying the Russian stuff, refining it, selling it back to the Europeans and the Americans at a higher price, right? So the result of this policy of let's ostracize Russia is let's just raise prices on our energy inputs globally. And so the war is causing the inflation that now the central banks have to fight by raising interest rates, which then bankrupts the banking system because they now have all these bonds, that are underwater. So this ideology of we need to fight Russia to, keep the Eurasian island fractured is the proximate cause of the inflation that's causing the financial crisis in the West itself. So it's a dumb policy, but it is the natural result of what happens when you say, I'm not going to trade with the largest commodity exporter in the world.
I think it's important to break down exactly the cocktail of things that go into making an economy weak. This was something it took me a long time to learn, and for anybody that's been watching the show for a while, they've gotten to go on this journey with me of figuring out how all this works, the debt cycle, exactly what happened with the banking crisis, inflation, all of that. How does this begin? Does it all start with the money printing, which leads to the inflation, which causes the banking crisis? What comes first? How does this ball get rolling?
So, the situation wouldn't be so bad if there wasn't all the money printing prior. So at the end of the day, let's take the U.S. for an example because it's the largest and richest country in the world. My opinion and thesis is back in the 1970s, the U.S. government made a tacit promise to the baby boomers, and they said, "Hey, go out, work, spend your money, don't save. We got you. We're going to make sure that when you get old, you're going to have healthcare covered by the government. And don't worry, you can be as energy inefficient as you want, 2 cars in a garage, driving all over the place, not supporting public transportation. We're going to make sure that where there's oil, we're going to get it. So our defense budget is going to be astronomical. And so the baby boomers are great. We're going to go out there and live our lives and consume the most that any generation ever has in human history, U.S. baby boomers. And what's happened? Health costs continue to rise. Now, they didn't rise so much starting until maybe 5 or 10 years ago because they're in the productive years of their life. But now, and I'm sure probably you've had some guests on talking about what we call U.S. sick care, right? The amount of money you spend in the last 10 years of your life dwarfs all the money you spent preceding. And the way the incentives work in the U.S. healthcare system, there's no incentive to actually have preventative care. It's, when you get sick, let's stick you up in the hospital and just go to town on the insurance company, which essentially is a U.S. taxpayer with Medicare and Social Security. Now, no U.S. politician, and I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat or third party, whatever, can stand up there and say, I'm going to reform the U.S. healthcare system. And guess what, baby boomers, who are the richest cohort and the most politically active, your health benefits are going to decline. You will not get reelected. And so these two programs are sacrosanct. You also will not get reelected saying, hey, we're going to really tackle this, this runaway U.S. defense budget. We're not going to go around the world bombing everybody to make sure that you have enough oil so that you can have the newest, badass pickup truck in your garage guzzling oil. You also will not get reelected. So healthcare and defense, these line items in the government budget cannot be altered under the current political system and what has been promised to the people over the last 50 years. Which basically means that as the population gets older and as the world becomes more multipolar, meaning there's other challengers, namely China, who are saying, hey, this quote-unquote rules-based order that's determined by 4% of the population doesn't work for the rest of the 96% of the population that never got a say in what this order was. We want a new order. We want to have our own commodities. We want to have our own material wealth. We also want to eat a bunch of beef and drive a car, right? If you think about the per capita energy uses of the world, for it to match the United States on the global level will require an inordinate amount of energy that we just don't have, right? That just means inflation. So what are countries doing? They say, actually, we're going to keep our stuff for ourselves. We'll only export finished products, which makes things more expensive. And so this is all happening before we even got to what's going on today. And as we've had less and less kids, because rich people have less kids, and when women have the choice of contraception, they choose not to have as many children. The Federal Reserve is like, well, okay, we don't have any growth of humans. We don't have any, we have an escalating cost of keeping the political promises we made to our people. The only option is to print money to make sure that the government can fund itself at an affordable level. And every time there's a financial crisis, instead of reforming the banking system and allowing some people to fail, they just print money to make sure that the banking system is sound. And the goal of the banking system is to take the people's savings and hand it to the government. That is why the banking system must always be saved from the government perspective, because that's what it's there for. And different countries use their banking systems in different ways to essentially get to the same goal of funding the government at a cheap level. And so that's why whenever the banking system is threatened, the government or the central bank must come in and save it by printing money. So we've gone through this situation, coming up in today, where the U.S. went from 30% debt to GDP in the 1980s to 130% today, which is a massive amount. And if you read, I forgot the other professor's name, Rogoff, wrote a piece about debt. Maybe 2011 book came out. I forgot when, sometime in the last 15, 20 years. And they empirically showed that once a country crosses about 130% debt to GDP, there is always a default. And the default could be massive currency depreciation, it could be massive financial repression, or it could be some sort of default in the government bond market every single time, no exceptions, right? So they're at this level already, and now the inflation comes. And the inflation is part and parcel result of there's less humans doing productive things, the war on climate change and the rebuke of hydrocarbons, and then more players in the world getting assertive over their natural resources, saying it shouldn't just all go to the United States and Western Europe. it should come to our people. We should enjoy the same standard of living that we see in the Hollywood movies.
You can reboot your life, your health, even your career, anything you want. All you need is discipline. I can teach you the tactics that I learned while growing a billion-dollar business that will allow you to see your goals through. Whether you want better health, stronger relationships, a more successful career, any of that is possible with the mindset and business programs in Impact Theory University. Join the thousands of students who have already accomplished amazing things. Tap now for a free trial and get started today. The idea that 130% debt to GDP has always historically equaled default, I've never heard that before. That's troubling. We'll come back to that. So the idea of money printing, this is what I want to anchor people around. So, okay, so you make all these promises to a gigantic generation. That generation does not replenish themselves, so there are not more people to be productive and take care of them. And so your only tool that you have is to start using debt. The only way to manage the debt is to print money, to not default on it. And now walk us through, this took me a while to really get my head around, the idea that money printing is inflation. Inflation is simply saying that the amount of money is inflating like a balloon compared to the things you can buy with it. So since there are no additional things to buy, then people just start charging more for the things that are on offer because there's more money floating in the system. How accurate is that?
That's basically it, right? There's the denominator, i.e. the amount of money, is just growing infinitely. And then the stuff, the finite stuff, and I think about finite stuff as energy, right? We produce, and that is, in my opinion, hydrocarbons, because that is the thing that powers our entire global civilization. I don't care what you believe about the good or evil of oil, but your entire modern life is predicated on oil, whether you believe it or whether you want to believe it or not. And so it's not as if we've gotten that much more productive in pulling oil out of the ground, or have found, or decided to commercialize nuclear energy, which has been around since, I don't know, the 1960s, right? For whatever reason, we as a civilization globally decided to ignore this amazing energy source and poo-poo it. Now, if we had decided back in the day to commercialize nuclear and spend the amount of energy and money that we have spent on wind and solar on making nuclear the safest possible energy usage in the smallest possible delivery mechanism, we might not be in this situation. But those are the political choices we made as a civilization. So the energy and the amount of energy and how much energy we're producing every year is not growing. In actual fact, like, we hit peak oil, a while ago, meaning the entire growth of the oil industry has been predicated on U.S. shale, and the number of new discoveries and new wells being drilled is declining precipitously because shale depletes itself very quickly. But it's not like we're finding a new Saudi Arabia every 10 years. No, these massive oil discoveries, we're just not making them like we were in the 60s, 70s, 80s. And so more debt, the amount of energy we're producing is flattish. And so that's why we're going to have energy inflation. And when you have energy inflation, you have goods inflation, because every single good we use is a derivative of energy.
So this is a unique take, at least for me. You're the only person that I've heard anchor everything around energy. I've heard you say, and this is really important for people if they want to understand the point of inflation and why it becomes so problematic, is that what you're really trying to do across time is preserve your purchasing power as it relates to the amount of energy. So energy is going to determine the cost of a flight. Energy is going to determine the cost of a car. Energy is certainly going to determine the cost of gas. Plastics, on and on and on. Like, even when it's not, plastics can be confused because it's made of the same substance, roughly. But even just to do the creation, all of that stuff requires energy, which right now, obviously, the main source of that energy is still currently coming from fossil fuels. So understanding that you're in this race against that. So now you've got two problems. Problem number one is what you just laid out, that we're flattish. We're not finding new Saudi Arabias every 10 years, which would be lovely and would certainly help make that easier, setting aside any, obviously, potential global warming issue, but just from an energy cost standpoint. So then problem number two becomes that we're inflating the money supply, and so now the cost of that is already going up. So what I want to get into, so if we know that we have this magic mark of 130% debt to GDP is going to equal a default, we're already at 130% debt to GDP, but we have two promises, healthcare and that to keep the prices where they are from an energy perspective, we're going to have to run around the world, defense, to make sure that we have access to the flows of oil. We're going to be doing more money printing. Now, walk me through what are some of the things that are other than that, because the crazy thing is you listed those two. I wasn't even really thinking about those two as being something that's going to cause us to inflate. I was thinking about, for instance, the BTFP, Bank Term Funding Program. So, which is basically stealth money printing, quantitative easing, just under a different name. It's actually bigger than the COVID stimulus, which was 4.1 trillion. So walk us through what are some other things that you see on the horizon that are going to lead to more inflation?
So that's sort of the past. In the future, we have essentially the rest of the world, and call it the non-aligned countries. They don't subscribe to the West, i.e., NATO or the China sphere, right? They just, hey, we're a bunch of countries. We've been impoverished ever since pretty much forever. We have the natural resources that are needed to power the green revolution. We have hydrocarbons. We have people who will come into the U.S. and be your nurses, will clean your toilets, will take care of your children, right? This is what we have. We want to take these resources for ourselves now. We don't want to choose a side, China or the U.S. We just want to get wealthier ourselves. How do we do that? We trade. What do we trade? We trade higher value goods, right? So an example would be Indonesia, a large producer of nickel, one of the largest in the world. Joko Widodo, the president of the country, has recently banned export of raw nickel. He said, guys, you want some nickel? Come down to Indonesia, build some sort of manufacturing plant, and export the refined product. So I think, if I read the statistic recently, they went from about $1 billion of economy around nickel when they were just exporting the raw stuff to something about $20 billion of value added when they were said, guess what, guys? You need to build stuff to employ our people to elevate the standing of our country. So this is just one country. The rest of the world is like, why the fuck are we letting these guys come down here, own our natural resources, not give us jobs, and then send back the raw stuff, and then we import finished goods, right? That's been the entire structure since World War II, and why stuff is very cheap in the US and Western Europe relative to how expensive things are in the rest of the world. And so they're fed up with this. And now sort of they've broken the ideological position, conditioning, maybe some of the leaders who were on the take from all these countries or the longer in power. And they're like, we want to be like the Americans and the Western Europeans. We've seen the movies. We want to be like them. Why can't we be like them? Well, we're going to stop giving you guys all of our stuff, essentially, almost for free. And so this is just a movement, resource nationalism. This is what they call. Kirill Sokolov from 13D calls it the allegiance of the aggrieved. The aggrieved being anyone who's suffered, post-colonial issues from essentially being an economic vassal of, some European nation or America.